A very, very late good evening or good morning, wherever you are in the world. This is Arunfoot Chaudhary. You are live on my YouTube channel for another Indian football discussion. And tonight is a late night edition. It's a little after 1 o'clock India time. And sorry that I'm online so late. I thought I would be able to make it a little earlier. Couldn't make it, sorry for that. And again, certain commitments that forced me to reschedule. Again, our original plan was to come around 10 o'clock, but yeah, couldn't keep that. Sorry for that, guys. But still, I thought I'll come live because again, I'll be busy in the coming days with the Durga Puja we have in Cologne. So therefore thought, maybe still try and come online. Done that today, and then hopefully we can still have a discussion and speak about it. Hi Mihar, welcome back to the channel. Hi Waman, also welcome back. And we'll speak about it. We'll speak about the things that are happening in Indian football that are not happening in Indian football. Hi Rushabh, welcome back as well to you. And we'll see what we can discuss. What can, what will be, that's the situation. Hi Vaishnav. Yes, another late night session, or for me it's a late evening session. It's 9:39 in Germany PM. It's but now it's crossed 1:10 a.m. in India. Afternoon in North America, and let's speak about Indian football and what's happening. The ISL, of course, yesterday with 2 games, and you saw East Bengal losing 2-0 to Jamshedpur FC, 4th loss in the Indian Super League, 6th loss in a row. Throws up a lot of questions. Mohammedan Super Giants, coming back from a dismal start, winning 3-0 against Mohammedan Sporting, asserting themselves to be the best team out of the Kolkata trio. And Odisha FC's women's team were in action in the AFC Women's Champions League and suffered a 17-0 loss to our Red Diamonds women's side. And I don't know. And to me is throws up a lot of question in my head, in my opinion. How are things, how are not things, but it shows the influence, and to me, it's disturbing. You can lose 8, 10, maybe 11-0 even against such an opposition. Let's be honest about that. But 17, that is little too much in my opinion, if you ask me. How's Puja preparation going on? Mourinho, very busy, limited sleep, and that will continue for another week at least. Next Sunday the Pujas will be over. Let's see how much I can do. And therefore, looking forward to it. But again, it's going to be a hard-working week, and maybe some less videos from my side, maybe, and of course, let me see if I can do a Pujo Mondop live maybe in one of those days, take you to our celebrations in Cologne. Let's see if I can do that or not. Mena, stall players सिर्फ राजस्थान में मिलते हैं. Somebody should ask this to AIFF and short players का क्या होगा फिर. Mayor, I don't know where this sort of doctrine is coming from, where they are trying to take this. It baffles me, the leadership in the All India Football Federation, what kind of decisions, what kind of calls they're taking at the moment. A lot of these things don't make any sense at all, in my opinion. I might be wrong, correct me guys, but to me it is disturbing to see some of these steps they're taking, and why Rajasthan. It's a good question that should be asked to the federation, but who's going to ask and who's going to answer? I think that's part of the problems we face. East Bengal deserved at least a draw, says Vaishnav. The scoreline isn't reflective of their play yesterday. Vaishnav, I know first half we can talk about it. But in the second half, again, Jamshedpur with their minimalistic selves. Yes, East Bengal did have chances, but overall the gameplay towards the end, it was wild. They were all over the place. So to me, I don't know if they deserved at least a draw. Then I would have said Jamshedpur shouldn't have won the earlier matches, right? So therefore, what you expect and what you get is not the same thing. As I said, Mumbai City could have also won all their 3 games if they win it. No, they didn't. The end result stands, and the end result is a loss. Clayton Silva couldn't score a goal. Alpino Gomes exceptional yesterday, and then in the end, I don't know, the defenders suddenly playing as strikers. It looks like children's football. Your expectations with the Vietnam game, Akshat? I don't have any expectations. I said that. I give Manolo a chance and time in the windows. Um, it's for me. It's a question of is he going to make a systematic change, or is he going to play the same players, or might he make a few changes here and there? But I don't see sort of that radical change from Manolo. And results in these kind of matches, result will matter. I think the question is, what is the intent of the team, of the players? Is there some sort of development visible? Is there something visible of changes that he does with the players here and there? And I'm not sure if Manolo will take those calls that I think are desperately needed to make changes. Today, Odisha lost 17-0 to Urava Reds, one off or actual state of Indian women's football. Aditi, that's a good question. I didn't think that an Indian team is as bad as losing 17-0 to the Japanese. But of course, 5 to 7 to 10 goals are possible realistically, in my opinion. So therefore, I would say that is possible. But again, if they're in a flow, we aren't. They have their league ongoing. Our women haven't played a competitive game, so to say. So this is all reflective of the structure or the lack of the structure that we have overall in the men's and women's game. And if I want to come to that topic, I did a video earlier today, German time, yesterday, Indian time, in regard to raising the question, what's the status and what's the latest from the I-League 2024-25? And I saw yesterday a video or a statement from the AIFF saying, we are preparing our referees for it. That's great to see, but I know owners, coaches, managers, players who are unsure, when does the I-League start? They said 19th of October, which to me is not a good date. I mean, that's the date where you have the Kolkata derby. So again, the I-League does lose certain focus, that's something that needs to be asked. And really didn't expect Mohammedan to be outclassed like that. They were totally stifled. Vaishnav, yeah, one-sided game. I saw the highlights. To me, Mohammedan have had a very good start to the season. I think they So therefore, for me, I don't know what they faced Mohun Bagan at the wrong time. I think Mohun Bagan for the first time looked settled, and the players were playing in positions and were playing, in a certain way, and therefore, didn't work for them. Our Indians women's teams this week, again, club football in India is still in an infancy when it comes to the women's game. So yes, the Japanese are way ahead of us. I mean, Japan won the 2011 FIFA Women's World Cup. So even that comparison is, from our side, is wrong, in my opinion, if you ask me. Hi Akash, welcome back. I'm doing fine. Little stressed out with Durga Puja, but otherwise all good. I think tall criteria is just a balanced strategy to remove Northeast monopoly. What is the strategy? The strategy should not be, the strategy should be to find players anywhere in India, but with a certain level of quality. So and therefore for me, I don't know. It makes no sense. The strategy should be not about tall or short players. It should be about good or bad players, about technical players, about talented players, about footballers with the basics. What is the strategy of calling on tall players? I think I'll make a video about it tomorrow. I was thinking about it, and I think, with you people asking it, I think I'll do about it because it makes no sense. And I'll I'll add. I've seen the other comments. I'll just add what Vaishnav was saying. I was surprised by Rajasthan for tall players. Why not Punjab and Haryana, which are known for their physical athletes? Vaishnav, very good question. I think it's simply because you see the AIFF at the moment, whenever they do something, some sort of the government or the local state government or a state football association comes forward to partner the AIFF in something. Now, this whole tall business is something which, I don't understand. Are there any clubs from South playing in Champions League, Women's League? No. When kids start learning to play, who decides which position they should be playing at? Ripam, sometimes depends. There are, I think, different models. In my opinion, if you look at it, it should be the coaches looking at the player and saying, listen, your attributes are playing to play here or play there. Very often the parents interfere and want the player to be, I don't know, a striker or an attacking player. They don't want them to be a defender or a goalkeeper, for example, or something. Hey, you're not good enough, just go and goal. So that is how that's something that we can which I would say. Can India win SAF Women's Cup, or is it at the moment the way disjointed everything? I don't know. East Bengal finalized their coach. Any insider news? Arushi, as much as I know, they're trying to confirm Oscar Bruzon, but as far as I know, till this moment, but again, it's not confirmed. But again, I think we now have a break. They'll work on the visa, on the other things. So it looks like Oscar Bruzon will be the next East Bengal coach. But again, I have no confirmation on that fact. So therefore, let's see. Again, might be still a strategy to try and maybe talk to other people. But at the moment, I don't know. I can give at least 10, 15 players who got transferred in this 2-3 years from Africa to European leagues in second and first division. Some of them have Champions League debut. Okay. With physical profile of 5'8", 5'10", weight, I guess, okay, profile of 5'8", 5'10", weights around 60 to 75 kilos. Is any player anywhere near to Champions League qualified debut in India? No. Somebody, if you ask me that, you want a direct answer? Makes no sense. Can Khalid Jamil win the ISL? Rishabh, in theory, any one of the 13 teams can still win the ISL, right? It's not over. So therefore, for me, theoretically, yes. But I would rather like and see teams winning who are trying to win matches by playing football. I saw yesterday's game, Mohammedan got puzzled after the first goal. Then Mohammedan just pressed so hard that they didn't stand in the first half, but Mohun missed 3 short goals. Yeah, Akash. Compared to Odisha, where do East Bengal, Bagan, Mohammedan, Mumbai, Kashmir, and Northeast stand in women's football? Orijit, East Bengal have a women's team in the IWL. Mohun Bagan have no women's team. Mohammedan have a women's team in the local Kalyanshi Cup. Mumbai City don't have a women's team. Real Kashmir don't have a women's team, and Northeast United also at the moment don't have a women's team. I saw news cutting a few weeks ago that AIFF is very much angry on AIFF that why junior CFL players are not getting selected in the junior national sides. That's why I thought it's a strategy. To look more players outside of, they don't have Akash, in all these decisions that you've seen with this AIFF, have you seen a strategy? If you and I are talking and honestly saying, looking at things, have we seen some sort of strategy from the All India Football Federation, how you're choosing things, right? If you're saying you're going to pick tall players in a serious note, right, it makes no sense. Yeah. I also heard somewhere that Telangana government plans to have the U17 men's national team. I think it's a viable strategy about different age groups if managed properly. Yeah, but again, adopting them and giving them sort of the opportunity to train in Hyderabad and everything is great, right? But the question now is, where is the overall strategy, right? We saw that some vision document was put together. That's supposed to be the vision. What, explain the decisions. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? How are you doing it? Do you see that anywhere? I don't see that. And that for me is the challenge for the All India Football Federation, that we need some sort of strategy to be able to see where Indian football somehow or the other is heading, right? This is the challenge. This is the real challenge of Indian football now. Where is it going and how? I don't see that. How strong are the teams compared to East Bengal in the Challenge League? Rushabh, it's going to be in Bhutan. It's going to be at an altitude. I think that's going to be a disadvantage for all the teams, but I'm not sure at the moment. We'll have to see closer to the tournament how these teams really stack up and how strong they are or could be. To me, and East Bengal in this current form, I think we shouldn't even be talking about anything. I think East Bengal needs to sort itself out, and everything else we'll have to see, right? Because to me, it's a difficult call. It's I don't know. It's I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to think about East Bengal's chances in the current form. I don't know. Go to sleep, Arun sir. I'm quite surprised you're still awake. Antaryami Bhol, I am awake because I'm based in Europe and here it's close to 10 o'clock, so I still have time to go to sleep. Then why focus on height rather than basics? The Netherlands have won everything due to their heights. Who said that, Samvit? You're so far off. The Dutch win everything because they focus on the technical side of the game. The Dutch, the Spanish focus a lot, even German football, we've changed, focus on the technical side of this game, right? $17-0. What to say? What a shame. We're just watching ball. Shreya was and the worst player too, but hope we win 2 games and qualify. We are not. Let's see. After a 17-0 to put a team back up, very, very difficult. Yeah. Why GMG not opening gunning if they do it for charity? Why do they need to? Right? We need to help ourselves. So Odisha is the best Indian team, doesn't inspire much confidence. I hope when Nepal and Pakistan doesn't beat us at SAF Women's Cup, Bangladesh can actually do, and that wouldn't even be an upset. Orijit, you've got a point. I never believed AIFF to follow their own vision. I would have been disillusioned too. So nice one. Vaishnav and Danish says all gimmicks of AIFF. Will you be surprised if Roka becomes the coach out of this current scenario? Arushi, theoretically, again, Roka, I don't know, even Ivan Vukomanovic is still in this game. I wouldn't be surprised, again, as I said, if, there are a number of coaches in the running. But again, it looked like Oscar Bruzon seemed to be ahead. But again, with these things, I don't know. Why can't government of India bar AIFF and take over the reins like Queen's India Act of 1858? Because that is third-party interference, and then Indian football would be banned by FIFA again, as we had 2 years ago. The ban because the courts got involved. So again, it was something which I've said multiple times on these shows. That makes no sense at all. What do you think if all ISL teams banned from signing foreign strikers? Striker problem must be in positions must be in Indian. Will that improve? Come on, that I don't think you can implement something like that. Football doesn't work that way. That you say, oh, listen, you know what? We make a quota system for a certain position. Then you know what they will say. We'll play without a striker. You'll play with 3 foreign playmakers. and then you say, listen, we play without a striker or play with a false number 9, will not work. I saw an interview of Sanjay Shen. He also indicated about bias towards 2 northeastern states in selection. Selection should be unbiased irrespective of states. I'm very much concerned about this bias. Akash, there is no bias. Believe me. These people are all constructing stories because this is to hide their failures of developing own talent. If the talent is better in other parts of India, it will get recognized. But the talent is not getting through. See how many players from Manipur and Mizoram now play also in the ISL and the I League. Right? So this is a reality. 4 clubs are getting promoted to I League 2 from I League 3. Diamond Harbour looks promising. There will surely be an I League in coming 2 seasons. Let's see, Akash. I saw the 17-year coming. I saw their gameplay once and I knew the Japanese would destroy them. By the way, how many Asian teams are better than India and women's? Pranjal, yeah. How many are better? If you had asked me that question 2.5 years ago when we hosted the AFC Asian Cup, I would have said, don't know, 5 to 7. Now, looking at the current scenario, I would most probably have to say 12 to 14, maybe 15 by now. AIFF looking for tall players. LOL. This management has changed AIFF from an association of football to a football club. That too, a bad one. Yeah, Mayank. You know. Do you think Molina has found his starting 11 or is close to fielding the perfect one? Aritra, I don't know if he's found his first 11, but I think he's found his system. Nana, do you feel this year's ISL has been really intense and competitive? And I've seen crowds swell up in the stadiums compared to previously. Maybe it's just post-COVID gains. What do you say? Yeah. See, at the moment it's competitive, right? It looks competitive. Crowd swelling. There are certain places, yes, where it's happening, and other places it's not. So therefore, again, this is a first trend. We've just had 3 weeks of the ISL, so let's wait a little bit more. So therefore, yeah. But I don't think it's a post-COVID gain. I think those post-COVID gains were last year and the year before. But now let's wait and see how this all evolves and develops because it's still early days. In China's Super League, there was a quota for goalkeepers. Same was way introducing a quota for striker. Goalkeepers, you can introduce that. Listen, if I was a coach and you say you put me an Indian striker quota, I would say, listen, I play a system without a striker. Can you argue with me that? Right? I don't think that's possible. Come on. East Bengal has no confidence currently. 30 shots and 0 goal. Taking penalties like nothing. They need a good coach who can bring some confidence because we need some AFC points. The unknown to me, I think the question here is, which is still there with Mohun Bagan, even though Mohun Bagan played well yesterday, is are these squads really put together in a proper way? Is it just about names or are these good squads? And that's the challenge that both East Bengal and Mohun Bagan have, and therefore let's wait and see. I'll be there at the derby and let's see what happens. Let's wait and see. But again, they need a good coach. But again, can that coach sort out things in 3 weeks? The AFC Challenge League is in 3 weeks, and the question is, when will the foreign coach come in? When will he get a visa? Will he be there in the next 3, 4, 5, 6 days? Will he be there before the derby or not? This team is sadly, despite all the names, right, didn't look good yesterday. Do you think only AIFF is to blame for this sorry figure of football in India? Can't overseas Indians have Indian football, both men and women? Or is it the whole system is to blame? Men's and women's, the system is to blame. AIFF, of course, but the state association, the clubs, the academies, everyone is to blame. And overseas citizens, listen, I have tried myself over the years to help off the field with whatever I can. Certain things have happened. Most of the things have never happened. So therefore, for me, that's something that the federation, and again, overseas Indians are not allowed to play for India. So that's a reality. One of the best national team in Asia, Japan, they're shorter, but they've something we don't have, a system in place that generate good technical players year after year from the grassroots. Yeah, Dinesh, men's and women's, we have to say, right? So therefore, that's something, right? We have Japanese female players playing at the biggest clubs in Europe. Narahori Shrestha of Diamond Harbour looks good, highest goal scorer in I-League 3. Akash, if I'm not wrong, used to be part of the Indian junior setup, but I think that was It's 5, 7, 10, maybe even longer years ago. Yeah, but system would only run if the majority players can play clearly. The Indians can't. So could you explain what system are you talking about? I think that he's left his form and backline, and that would be the first lesson that with this team you can't really play a proper three-man backline. Taran JC is doing wonder, 18 to 20K audience every single game is just phenomenal, and those are genuine fans. Akash, this is not the first time this is happening in Jamshedpur. It's happened a few times over the last 6-7 years that the Jamshedpur FC exists. I mean, for people of Jamshedpur, the ISL, is a big the ISL is a big piece of entertainment in that part of the world, in that city. So therefore, for me, it's a big thing. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens at this moment. But if they can maintain it, last season when they were struggling, the fans didn't come. So at the moment they're winning, therefore the fans are there. So I've started watching AIFF from last season and completely missed all the previous ones. Can you tell me whether the quality has improved or not? Pranjal, that's always a very difficult question. I think the quality of foreigners has improved over the years. Certainly, yeah, if I look back at season 1 and look at it now, season 1 was, of course, certainly about names, but if we look down to season 2, 3, 4, 5, the quality has improved. Overall, our Indian players are struggling, so that's the problem. So overall, has it improved? Yeah, because the foreigners are good, even though they're less on the field. Is there any pylons, arrows like structure for women's football? Orijit, first of all, pylons, arrows was there only, was there many years back, and when they were based at the pylon school, and it's the Indian arrows. And yes, for one season of the IWBL, if I'm not wrong, we had an Indian women's arrows team. Shamadri, also my best wishes, pre-puja wishes, good night. Kamal, only good thing happened under Chobe's friendlies are being played in every window. Other than that, 2000 is being neglect initially, like its vision and is a skated line with government's 2027 plan. We've been playing friendlies for a while now. Again, people forget we've been playing for many years. I think Bino George is the best option for East Bengal. They just need little confidence. The players are not taking shots in the box crazy. Akash, rather not to comment to me if you think that he's and he doesn't have the license, so he can't stay there for long. Compared to Bagan, where does East Bengal stand in the derby? Can they turn it around, or is this season over more or so if they lose to Mohun next match? Sambam, the season's never over. If they now win 10 matches, 12 matches in a row, they suddenly will be there at the top, right? So therefore, it's not over per se, but for the turnaround, something needs to happen with East Bengal, right? The derby is the best match to turn it around. The question is if the new coach is going to be there or not by the time that the derby happens, and if there's going to be sort of something of a change, because this team is in shambles. Again, yes, they created chances, but one never felt, even with the penalty, I thought he's not going to score. And Saul Crespo had, if I'm rightly informed, had dengue a few days ago, and now he's back. To me, it makes no sense. To me, it makes no sense to then play him. And he took the penalty away as if he doesn't have any power. So therefore, yeah, decisions that East Bengal needs to make are rough and tough ones. Which players closest to play for national team does OCI play a key role if they want to represent national team? OCI doesn't, there is no PIO at the moment close, because the government has to change its ruling. So therefore, Rishabh, no chance. East Bengal didn't spend cleverly, overpaid for Jigs and Anwar and injured Diamanta because then missed out on a proper foreign CDM and good Indian side backs. Then went for Yuste, who plays similar to Ijaji. I think Yuste's signing still is a good one, in my opinion, because you brought in a foreign centre back with an understanding. I don't think he's a 6. He doesn't have the legs to be a holding midfielder. And therefore for me, and the other ones, again, yes, of course they're overpaid, but again, it on paper it looks nice, but I go back to the topic of that East Bengal first had Mahesh, then brought in Nanda, and then brought in Madhitalal, and all three of them actually play in the same position, and just spreading them out in attacking positions, which is not working for them. So therefore for me, it's a challenge. Other ISL franchise clubs should learn how to make a genuine fan base like JFC. I think, Akash, every city is different out of own experience. In Mumbai, for example, is very, very tough to generate a fan base, and therefore every city has its own challenges. There can't be any comparisons. Quality of broadcasting has improved amazingly, and competitiveness has also increased because of merit-based promotion. Is it? Again, is the quality, the competitiveness increased? Last season, we saw that at the start, everyone thought yes. In the end, you saw 5 and then 4 teams fighting it out, and the rest was just fighting for that 5th, 6th spot, rather that 6th spot, and it wasn't quality which got into that 6th spot. So therefore, I don't think that the competitiveness, again, yes, at the moment it looks like it, but is it more competitive because the league has gotten better, or rather because Mohun Bagan, Mumbai, Goa, Odisha had a bad start to the season? Again, see it from that side. Yeah, right. So therefore, that's the reality. And broadcast, yeah, it looks much more slick. Sometimes, again, I'm not happy. So yeah, we'll have to see. Do you feel the same, or is it only that the passion you need to play for the national is very lacking in your players? I mean, I see Bangladesh players more passionate about playing football. Messi lover, I wouldn't say that the passion is an issue. I think the passion. Yeah, sorry. Let me formulate it differently. Passion can be a problem. At the moment with this team, it looks like to be a problem, an issue, because they don't seem to be really giving it their all. And I think we can't judge if they are or if they're not. That's the big challenge, I think. But it is something that you want to play for the shirt and want to give it all. India reached Vietnam recently. Adian, thanks a lot. Good news. Jamshedpur is looking good this season, and the fan support too. Chachikawa and Sivir is one of the underrated foreign players. Hope they do good this season. Danon, let's wait and see. Is nutrition focused at youth level of national team? Rushabh, I knew under Bibiano it was. I don't know if it at the moment is. I guess it will be under Ishfaq and Ranjan the same way. At least Ashik is back. Yeah, Pranjal, that's good news. Jamshedpur would be at very knockout stage at the end of the ISL. Okay, let's see. If a player has an OCI card, can he play? No, he has to. At the moment, the rule is you have to have an Indian passport, and to get an Indian passport, yeah. Let's see. Does this East Bengal team has it in them to win 10-12 in a row? Yes, the answer is for surprises. Yeah. No, Sambam, I'm saying in theory, I don't think so. If you ask me, I don't think so. I think East Bengal getting now into top 6 will be a challenge. The biggest problem with our players is mediocrity. After reaching a certain level, they stop aiming higher. One reason for this is the money they earn in the ISL, which leads to complacency. Yeah, Dinesh, 100%. Dada, is our obsession with getting PAOs and OCIs is unnecessary? I mean, haven't countries in the Gulf created competitive teams in-house and without having players in any foreign leagues as well? Vaishnav, they have the best. They spend a lot on youth, grassroots, bring in foreign coaches to come in to work with these kids. We don't have that, right? We don't have that. And the PIOs and OCIs are better. And I'm sure if once we start with that, our team will be made up mainly of PIOs and OCI. We could go like 70, 80, 90% of PIOs and OCIs, or PIOs are OCIs, players of Indian origin playing, right? The level is higher because our basics are bad. At the moment, the basics are bad. That's a reality. And if you want to fast track, let's see. One of the beliefs that Mohammedan Super John had a real reality check against Mohammedan. Notes to myself, I think the reality checks were earlier, right? They look better, but so to me, was this a blip? An upward trajectory for Mohun Super Giant, or is it something where you think, okay, they can hold that standard? Playing East Bengal is a tricky one because now Molina has to say, guys, don't underestimate them because they're not playing well. It's a derby. Therefore, it'll be interesting. East Bengal need an SD with a proper vision of style of play. SD should select the coach and players. If legacy officials need to make the voting decision, East Bengal continue to struggle. Shumadri, yeah, if they get a sporting director, yes, right. But who will want to, someone with knowledge and understanding, who will want to take up that seat, knowing the structure within the club? Mohun and Goa were not that bad, but BFC, JFC, and Punjab has improved a lot. I agree with Punjab, and BFC, JFC, yeah, worked well. I heard a few months ago that some corporate club based in Chennai, most probably some Wales FC, will play in I-League 24-25 through direct entry. What happened to that? They announced it, but there was never a conversation with the AIFF on the topic. If Mumbai City FC still doesn't start winning, then probably they won't win the league at least this season. Yeah, Messi lover. That's, ISIS created this problem of Indian players refusing to take the risk to play in Europe. Why they are overpaid so much? Rushabh, it's not the ISL. I've tried earlier to get players who are playing in the I-League. 2013, I had an option. Fortuna Düsseldorf gave a trial. And the best Indian players refused. We're talking about 2013. We're talking pre-ISL days. So therefore, this is not an ISL created problem. This has been around, and a lot of players never wanted to risk to go abroad. Also, don't understand was someone like a Liston who scored a lot of goals and gave plenty of assists a couple of seasons again contributed so much. His first touch and take-ons used to be great. Vaishnav, yeah, consistency. Something that I've spoken a lot in these lives, right? Consistency is a huge problem with our players, and it continues to be there. It continues to be there, and it's not getting better. Politics is ruined East Bengal. I know what you mean, Akash. Politics, I think, is one of the biggest problems of Kolkata football, Bengal football, and the Maidans. In all clubs and all associations, it's a problem. It's not helping Bengal sports. And this happens to so many of our players. What happens to them? Why can't they be so consistent? Things that they are capable of. Are they really capable of it, or is it a fluke? I sometimes feel some of these, touches, if you ask them to do it 10 times, they will never be, not even be able to do it once after that. So therefore, for me, it's a problem. I mean, we've spoken about so many wingers, right? That's why I say Changte is a different level of a player, but even Changte started now badly this season, so he'll have to prove. But again, he had a strong finish last season, also didn't start well. So that's the challenge. Beke Pujari playing good for BFC, but in Indian team, they become Lord. The unknown, I wouldn't agree on the Beke part. Pujari, yeah, we can discuss, but Rahul Beke to me has been our best Indian centre back. But again, at international level, with whoever is next to him, he's been exposed. And Rahul has to sometimes do stuff that I think he doesn't want to do. About players refusing to go abroad pre-ISL, why did they refuse? Because they were being paid too much. This is something that people need to understand. Our players, the overpayment of our players has been a case for now donkey's years. Right? It's not in the ISL, it is exploded to another level. But the reality is that the salaries of Indian players have been high. I said that to some of my friends when the NFL started, that when they wanted to go abroad, that no one's going to pay you this money that you're getting, and we're talking about lakhs in those days. So therefore, overpayment of Indian players has been on for a while. Or now you remember there was a new club in Mumbai, most probably named as Mumbai Tigers, and they went to play I-League final in their second years, and the close suddenly. Yeah, they didn't play I-League final. They played the I-League second division. There was a corporate investor behind it, and then that corporate investor realized that he's losing money, that he's not going to be able to make money, and shut the team down. And it's not the first one. There are a few other examples of these that people came into Indian football, thought they, yeah, that's the reality. Not to demean, but I feel that most of our footballers come from financially weak backgrounds, and the pool of money is too much for them to take the risk of going abroad just for football. Yeah, but then that's also a problem. That Vaishnav, you've addressed a problem which is there. Sorry, you've addressed a very valid point, and that's something that is a huge problem, a huge issue for our footballers. But how should we address it? I think that's the challenge, and therefore, is there an answer to this problem? I don't see a solution to these issues, to these problems, right? And because if you're coming from the lower strata of society and you see football as your career, that's a challenge. And a lot of boys fail. In my opinion, they need to have a plan B, which you don't have. I hope Inter Kashi don't go in that road. Akash, at the moment, it doesn't look like the guys behind Inter Kashi are serious. They want to build something. They want to build something big in the long term. And if I look at them, they've brought in Havas on one side. You've seen that they've brought in Yoni Kauko, Nikola Stojanovic, seasoned player in the I-League. So let's see what happens. From their point of view, it does make sense not to take risks by going abroad, but I feel if you train there for like 4 or 5 years, come back, you might have a longer career, as most players decline in the late 30s. Rishabh, yes, and no. Because all the players that I've seen who've gone abroad have gotten better or even much better, right? Baichum, Sunil, Gurpreet, Mangi, Shubhato, even players who most probably would have never had a chance to work themselves up in the Indian system, Ajay Gupta and Ishan Pandita, all of them have gotten better by playing abroad. Maybe as the middle class gets more involved in sports with time, our players will start to take that risk. It will be most probably organic and will take too long for us to see it happen. I don't think it's yes, with the poorer, with the middle and the upper class, the question is if they want to go and slug it out or be happy to earn in lakhs. I mean, we've seen now a good example with Som Kumar coming back, right? The pool of money is too long. My classmate went for trial of Mumbai Tigers. Gosh, okay, I understand then where it comes from. How do you see the future of Vineet Venkatesh, Vishnu, PV? I see nothing at the moment because I think it's too early. It's too early to judge of where these boys can go. The unknown, because at the moment it all looks good. It looks bright. But for them to work hard and to establish themselves, I think will take time, and that's not an easy one, right? Therefore that's something we need to think about as well, and give these players a time. I'm not someone to jump on the bandwagon and say XYZ because I've not seen that exceptional talent over the last few years. I was telling someone earlier today that I've not seen any exceptional talent really come out of India since Lalinzwala Changte, when I saw Changte as a 15 I think he was at the time. I also feel really sad at the state of football in my home state of Uttarakhand. I've seen that kids are really passionate about football and school competition is serious business, but the state FA. Yeah, Vaishnav, that's the thing. But again, being serious, being enjoyed. I mean, we all love to, play football, and it's totally incompetent, and players have to usually go to Delhi and Punjab for opportunities. Yeah, but that's the problem, right? That's the problem of the lack of a structure in the state, this lack of the structure of, the possibilities. I really hope that current scenes change before we would kill each other with nuclear weapons. And Dinesh, it's on one side it sounds very funny and sarcastic, but on the other side, looking at what's happening around the world, who knows? Passion aside, attitude problems also there. As soon as they play 2-3 good games, they start behaving as if they are Messi, Ronaldo, and they are very reluctant to learn from their mistakes. Messi lover, yeah, also a point, very valid point that reality check of how good you are, because also on social media these guys are hyped up these days. They are hyped up to the hilt, and that is not helping the players. The players need to be grounded. They need to be told, guys, you're of this level or you're of that level. No one's going to tell them. Changte is really talented, easily plays second division in France. Talent, he wastes his talent for money. Yeah, Akash, listen, I organized him a trial 5 years ago at Viking Stavanger with friends in Norway, right? And Viking was willing to give him a 3-year contract. At the end, people around him thought it's better to come back to India and sign a huge contract at the time. So therefore, the opportunities were there. The opportunities were created. But I've said to myself, at the moment, it makes no sense. We have an issue in regard to talent. And on the other side, there is no serious interest because the players are not realistic. I jokingly say, that FC Remscheid, here, my hometown team in Remscheid, right? If you come here, would you be able to play? I asked that simple question to these. I've done this multiple times. They would not play. They're second in the table, playing great football, Most of the boys who played under 17, under 19 Bundesliga, they know their football, they know their basics, and that's the problem. I think it's more a problem of the Indian fans that lionize them so much with the most minuscule amount of success. I wouldn't say it's more of a problem that way. I think it is one of the problems. I think money is the first problem. 100% to me, money is the first issue. And then if I look at other things, I would say then this idolization, social media is not helping. If you reach out to players are interacting with fans and this and that. Okay, it's fine, but I don't think that this interaction is good because on one side either you're saying you're great, or on the other side you're saying you're useless, and there is nothing in between, and that's the challenge. Has any player approached you recently to get a trial? No, Rishabh, no player, no. Yeah, actually, an agent did for his players, but again, the demands were unrealistic, and on the other side, I thought the players in question are not good enough. I saw almost all the matches of 2017 U17 at Salt Lake Stadium. That U17 team was packed with very promising guys, wasted golden chances, lack of vision. Akash, the point to me is I saw these boys for two and a half years. Saw the first time here in Germany when Nikolai Adam came in. But none of these boys, and no disrespect, but none of these boys to me looked like an exceptional talent like Changte was. Right? And that is something which is missing. Do you think Farooq Chaudhry will be back in Indian team as he was a striker once? Yeah, no, he's done okay, I think, as a striker, right? So therefore, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be picked in the. Did Manolo mention his? Sorry, I didn't even check that. Did he come out with the final 23 today, or not? Just wanted to check 1 second before I say something wrong. Who has been left out of the final squad? Vishal, Nikhil, Sana. Okay, let me go through squad. Gurpreet, Amrinder, Vishal Keth as keepers, Nikhil, Rahul, Beke, Sana Singh, Anwar, Akash Sang, Matsushi Bose, Ashish Rai, Mehtab Singh, Roshan Noram, Suresh Wangjam, Amte, Jikson, Brandon, Liston, Apuya, Changte, Edmund, Farooq, Manvir, Vikram. Okay. Who's been left out? Sorry, just checking. Did I miss a name? Did I miss a name? Yeah. What happened to JJ? I mean, I've not seen such a perfect strike after Sethi was with the same stature of Sethi after that injury. You mentioned it after the injury. Remember, he went to East Bengal and tried his luck, and then it didn't work out. And then JJ had to end his career. Very sad. Very, very sad, because Sunil and JJ, yeah, in that, that match against Thailand, JJ, Sunil, Thapa, Udanta, Ashik, wow. Which Indian coaches do you find promising who play good football? I think amongst those ones would be Renedy Singh, Clifford Miranda. Interested to see how Samir Naik does with tempo in the I-League now. Yeah, and then Floyd Pinto is a talented coach. Yeah, to name a few. We cannot ask our players to choose less money because we have no moral right to do so, because it's their life. So the only solution is to bring foreign coaches in every single club and youth level. Ranjal, your second part of the solution is nice, but unrealistic, because we are not spending money like the guys in the Middle East. The guys in the Middle East are spending proper money. They're even buying out people out of their European contracts. They're paying more than the European clubs sometimes. We're not going to do that. We want to do jugaad. And if a player doesn't try abroad, it's a question of what you want to do long term. A lot of players around the world risk it, join clubs for less money, But yeah, everyone who's gone abroad has actually come back and earned more money. What happened to Sanjay Sen and Dek Pereira? Their teams play quite a good attacking football. Rishabh, they're becoming old. No one is telling our players to choose less money. We're just telling them to prefer good competitive football over easy money. Could be seen as that as well, Akash. Can we ask JJ to play again? Pranjal, why not? You know, but then I'll ask Bachchan Bhutia, Randy Singh, and others to come back as well, right? So that's a difficult one to think and speak about. Again, we are trying to find the right players, but it's very, very difficult from that standpoint. Right, more than 50 minutes already. It's nearly 2 o'clock in India and 10:30 p.m. In Germany. And those of you who might be new to the channel, like, share, and subscribe if you like what you're seeing or hearing. Do support the channel. Arunfoot, have a look also at the videos. 11 likes so far, guys. So I think we can do better. And did a video earlier in the day, German time, of course, earlier in the day, I would say, in regard to what's the status, what's the situation regarding the I-League, and then earlier some videos in regard to Manolo's picks and choices, Lebanon, what kind of a coach does East Bengal need? Just have a look, guys, and of course also maybe look at some of the older lives as well. There's some interesting content in there as well. Do you think if FIFA regulations didn't prove government interference, there could have been faster progress, or would it have been even worse? I think it's even worse, Vaishnav. I think it's not a FIFA thing, it's an Olympic movement thing to say that, that sporting bodies are independent of governments. And I think on that perspective, I think it doesn't matter if it's a democracy and autocracy or run by royals or so therefore for me, it's something which has worked around the world, and but we are trying to do jugaad. It doesn't matter. In countries our players can play, Raj, let them play at home. At the moment outside, they'll have to go so many leagues down. I don't think our players can go down. If our players choose European third division in the long run, he will be much better as a player. Money follows quality. But which third division European team would take him, Akash? That's the other question at the moment. Isn't JJ in politics right? Why would he leave? Yeah, he's trying to do good stuff in Mizoram, so wish him all the best. Great guy, great character, lovely footballer. In which countries Indian can play? Some don't allow us. No one blocks us from playing anywhere, so yeah. If Edmund tries to go to Europe, he will able to clear trials. His ball holding is different. Prashanti went to Canada and failed, to be very honest. No, because he's still 30, that's why rest of them are too old. I think some of them are better than the current lot. What's your opinion in the news that our PSG group building residential for the player and heard that they would be youth set up to let him build it? Messi lover, as with everything else, I feel it's not helping us, and if they do it right, let them do it. I've seen so many Indians here in Germany, not all of them will stay, but most of their kids are overweight and obese. Sometimes I feel like fitness and sports is not in our culture and also hinders us a lot. And not always, because I know enough people whose kids are trying to play sports across different, but I was seeing Indian kids the other day with the club where I play. I was seeing 9, 10, 11-year-old Indian kids over there. So they are the different ones. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. In 2019, I don't know about Indian football because less advertisement, but I know Chetri Thapa Udanta Chante. Okay, they are not. Can you comprehend the East Bengal FC situation? Devjit, it was an implosion bound to happen with the way that the club has put this team together and sticking to this coach, who I think was a mistake in the first instance. But again, yes, with the Super Cup win and by winning 2 derbies, what can you say? You can't say much, and that's the problem. The coach was a mistake. I don't think that the way Carlos wants to play is the way that a club like East Bengal should think. Again, East Bengal needs to realize what kind of a coach does it want, what kind of football does it want to play, what kind of players do I have, do I want to attract and bring in, and not just throw money at players. How does lowest level of football in Germany work? As an IT professional, I'm thinking about moving there. Would love to play there as an amateur. Rushabh, you can go to a local club. Just call up, ask, hey, when are your training sessions, trials? You have to. They will have to check if you have ever been registered in India. Then they would need an international clearance for you to play, and then you can play. I understood in general, Indian mentality is to play safe and not to take risky moves. Yeah, Akash, that's the reality. Did he really fail in Canada? Prashant, he failed in Canada because at the club there he is run by a friend of mine, and he told me. Why Indian clubs are not able to make money every year? They are facing the same issue. How can they overcome it? Raj, you have to have more money coming into it. Um, you have to make money via television rights, and no one's willing to put money into Indian football, right? So that's a real problem, a reality of things, and therefore we're not moving in that direction. And that's a challenge, a life challenge, which is not changing, which is becoming more and more complex, and therefore they're going to be losing money for a certain period of time if things don't change. What's your take on Oscar Bruzona's choice? I don't know much about him. Oscar to me is a good choice. I recommended him despite leaving Mumbai City to the sporting management at the time. I think that's an interesting coach, an interesting manager, but can he really make a difference? I am not fully sure, but let's see what they do. I mean, he worked successfully at Sporting Club de Goa, was assistant in Mumbai City, was coach at Mumbai FC, and then went on New Radiant in Maldives. Then, of course, 6 years at Bashundhara Kings, and then, of course, interim also at Bangladesh. So therefore, yeah, he brings with him a lot of experience, likes to play an interesting brand of attacking football. But again, I don't know if it's going to work or not, but he could be an interesting one. I really want Mohammed Sanan to do great this season and get India to call up one of my favorite youngsters. The unknown, he is all he's a typical Indian winger at the moment, and if he wants to get national team, he has to stand out, because we've got too many of those Mohammed Sanans in the system. I am too an NRI. 90% of my NRI friends are under 30. All of them are obese and lazy. I'm the only one Indian in my gym, and Lucky is right. NRI kids are chubby and only study. Yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem. But again, we still have enough NRI talent as PIOs or OCIs who could still make a difference. I want to move to Germany as an IT professional. Already answered. Even my relatives who are in US, all of their kids are fat and don't play any sport. Akash, it's a problem. Yeah, I see that. I will see that this week at Puja as well, most probably, that we have a problem. It's a reality of things. And yeah, and I don't know how you can or will be able to change this. Has the contract between FS and AIFF extended? If not, then we'll have to survive. Raj, contract has not been extended. I've been saying this on and off and regular basis, and there are no talks happening. And if Reliance pulls out, does it mean that the ISL shuts down? I don't know. You look at the whole situation around the I-League. Do you want the AIFF to organize the ISL? That's going to be the question. Can they? And they can't. They don't have the money to it. Hi Deepak, how come this late? Simply long day. Had an early morning football session, and then went for lunch at an Oktoberfest celebration, and then went for football in the afternoon. Then watched the Bayern Munich game. And then, got late, dinner and all that stuff in the way. And then that's why I said I'll do a late night session. And therefore, I came back later than originally planned. Only thing positive about him I've found is his youth development experience in Celta Vigo, because even senior coach in India must have youth development experience, as every Indian footballer is technically flawed. Yeah, Devjit, He's not only worked there, he's also originally, when he came to India, came to the SPT Academy in Bangalore, and moved his way through. So therefore, it's an exciting appointment if it happens. But Abadroka, Vukomanovic, and all these guys seem to be still in some sort of race. Let's see if he is picked, and if he's picked, what he can do. What's Bruzon's style of play? Seems to be, to me, be more of an attacking coach. But again, I think if he wants to be, he can also be sort of pragmatic. And I think that's what East Bengal at the moment needs. Find out who's the best in which position and then play in there. If clubs came together, do something like what English clubs did with Premier League, ISL might work without FSDL. ISL will never work without FSDL, because FSDL is the glue that binds the ISL together. I think that's the difference. The Premier League is an European model, a sporting model, and the ISL in that way is a sort of a North American, so therefore that's the reality. So, so therefore the comparison doesn't work. Indian companies put money in Cambodian club, not in ISL. Raj, it's not an Indian company, it's an individual who used to own Chennai City FC. Rohit Ramesh, he's done that in an individual capacity. If I'm not wrong, Ranji Bajaj tried it before ISL was declared as top division. No, he didn't, Rishabh. I don't know where you got that info, but that's not true. Can Jamie be the difference maker in this? Jamie McLaren be the difference maker in this Mohun Bagan? He looked sharp, and his off the ball runs were great too. Yeah, Messi, that's why he's been brought in. So therefore, that is something. He's got some quality. Otherwise, he would have been that good in the past. Under Carlos, there's significant degradation of players' qualities. Yeah, massive problem. That's the reality of things. He's not as good as he should, needs to be, and therefore, the players were getting worse and worse. Do you think Manveer Singh gets too much hate as he was a right winger, but he plays as striker because you don't have any? His work rate is good, his finishing was bad, but we don't have any physical player like him. I will out myself. I like Manveer Singh because, as you rightly say, work rate, passion, commitment is there, but he has deficiencies. He has flaws as every other Indian player has as well. But he is an exponential position as a striker, so therefore gets more hit than others. And therefore, I would say, is a player, if we like it or not, I don't think we have other players who are going to do the same thing, what he tries. What's your take on the East Bengal's second team? Can that act as a feeder to the main team in the long run? For that, they need better quality youngsters. And some of the players who are being sold as being youngsters are 24, 25, 26. So therefore, it doesn't really work. So therefore, it needs to be, but then also the youth structure of East Bengal needs to be right overall, and that is not there. But Mohun Bagan still not able to use full potential of McLaren. McLaren was out for a long while, so give him a little time and he'll get better, I think. As far as I remember, we tried to bring clubs together to keep I-League top division and get more broadcasting money for the clubs. And it miserably failed because the so-called broadcaster didn't put in a paisa, and the other clubs, and he never tried to keep it as a top division because that was done. He said, again, and a lot of things this gentleman says is not true, so don't believe everything that he says. How do you rate Hijaji Maher? Is he really that bad? Devjit, I wouldn't say he's bad, but again, you were talking about, which word did you use? Degradation of player qualities, right? That sums it up. Hijaji Maher looked very good towards the end of last season or in certain games, but the whole team doesn't look good, right? And that's the challenge I think that anybody would have with this team. And to me, it looks disastrous. At the moment, it looks disastrous the way that East Bengal is playing. Well, good night, Dada. Thank you for your service. It's timing. This timing is good for me. Okay, Akash. Understood. The timing is good for you, but I guess for our friends in India, it's a little or very, very late. It's it's already 2:13 a.m. in India, but I still want to continue a little longer if you guys are around and want to throw me some questions. 5 minutes just to remind everyone who's here. If you like what you're seeing, do leave a like, share, and if you haven't, please do subscribe. 1,822 followers. Thank you very, very much. So we're slowly growing towards the 2,000 mark. Challenge. It's the 6th of October. Maybe we can achieve that by the end of this month. Would be a small milestone for me, but maybe you guys can help me with that. So thank you very, very much for that as well. Are you celebrating Pujo in Germany? Oh, yes. Yeah. Raj, yes, I'm celebrating Durga Pujo. Actually happen to be the president of one of Europe's biggest pujos, Durga Pujo in Cologne. Organized by an organization called Bharat Shamiti. So, so looking forward to it. Quite a few stressful days. Might be doing less of the lives. Maybe I'll do one of these days a live from the Durga Puja and talk to you from there. But let's see if that is possible and works. People are talking about Oscar wants Robson and other players. Did they forget about the upcoming PSG verdict on 14th? Palash, let's wait and see what the verdict is. And then we'll see. Again, let Oscar sign, and then let's see if Oscar is in the position to make some calls. McLaren was a good player, but Mohun didn't need. They have already played at striker position. Yeah, they are known very right. The way East Bengal FC lost the match in defeat that made me believe in black magic. See, that's football. You get chances, you don't score, and the opponent scores. Again, goalkeeper has an exceptional day. That's football. What's the future of ISL? Should they? Oh, that's an interesting question, and it's a philosophical question because it depends on a number of factors. First of all, I think at some stage there needs to be a means and ways of how to make money in this league. I think that's a big challenge, right? I don't see that at the moment, to be very honest. Where can the clubs make money? That's a challenge. But and then AIFF, FSDL, if that breaks down, then it could be Tata bye-bye very, very soon. Do you think East Bengal investors will put in more money if the season also finishes at the bottom? Mesilava, I don't even know. The question is with those, are those guys really interested to put in more money? Because again, it was a political arrangement, so we'll have to wait and see. Honestly, when I was training and wanted to go pro, I didn't even know about Mumbai's league structure until 12th. I can assure this lack of winners among players is still present. Rishabh, but my question is, in today's world, with everyone has a mobile, everyone knows Google stuff. Why don't the kids? I hear it even here. Oh, I didn't know about this. I didn't know about that. Listen, guys, you have the gift today of having a mobile device and having Google, or maybe use another search platform that you can find out a lot of stuff. So that's why for me, all these, hey, I don't know this, I didn't know that, I don't know the timings of a match, I can't watch this, I don't know where to get tickets, I don't know when the trials are, I don't know this. Listen, everything is available at a fingertip. Today's world. Then again, then I would say, is that a lack of intelligence or a lack of awareness or what it is? It may be both or maybe some other things, right? This is needed. This is also part of how a footballer is grown and judged. McLaren is a better version of Cummings. Palasha would disagree. I think he's overall a different kind of player, a better kind of player. But again, I might say this now, and it might turn out to be that Cummings is still the better player in regard to stats. So let's wait and see. Expectations from India versus Vietnam. Vaman, I said it at the start. I don't have too many expectations. I just want India to, that we see something. The word passion was used. Passion, interest. I want to see something from the team, right? And that's something which is the challenge, I think, and the challenge for everyone. And then let's wait and see if Manolo can get a little something out of this team. And for me, the result doesn't count. I'm interested to see who plays, who doesn't play. Let's see. Don't feel Mohammedan need McLaren. Raj, that's a theoretical question. He's now there. And according to me, it's yeah, they could have, rather than signing him, they should have signed a defensive midfielder, but they decided against it. Zara promote fitness amongst our people. As a Mindipur boy, it's very insulting for me to see our kids are getting out of our sports culture. Yeah, I don't know who I am to promote fitness amongst our people, but again, we're talking about football, so therefore, yeah, let's see. Again, we're talking about football, and hopefully that helps. What's going on with Aniket Jadhav? Why does every coach want to offload him after a few months? It looks like that coaches are realizing they sign him. He has something in him. They think they might. There are certain weaknesses. They might turn him around, and it's not working. Only academy players can make you a good team because they play for you, not for money, and they will make you profitable too. Not happening because they go for the big money as well, the academy players. Why Stephen's stint as India coach is comparatively successful? What he did right? Devjit, simply saying Stephen was pragmatic in his approach and he tried to get the best out of the team. Did it always work? I don't think so. But Stephen did try a lot of things, made a lot of things, and made a lot of changes with an effort to try and improve us and gave a lot of chances to players, tried out a lot of things, and then yeah. How can Shachi own so much within just 1 year, that too from a real estate business? Yesterday I got the full list of their sporting assets. It's astonishing. Palsh, I don't know where that money is coming from. And then again, you would have to ask someone else. Sorry, I don't know that much about it. If FSL is not extended, then why did Sports ACM buy the broadcasting right of ISL? I guess they will extend it soon since both are owned by Reliance. They didn't buy it. Who said they bought it? Did they buy it for the long term? Or they're just showcasing from season to season? Simple question, Messi lover. No. There have been no conversations, and people are talking about it as if they know, and nobody knows. Right? There are no conversations at the moment happening. Sure, if someone gives this excuse today, is surely an idiot, but I didn't know how to make it only after 12. I used to find trials through Facebook, but yeah, today's trials upset. He said, again, Rishabh, I don't know how old you are. That's why I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about kids today, right? I've heard from kids, or even, again, middle class or upper middle class kids, or even rich kids who say, hey, I love football. I don't know if I heard about trials and all that stuff. I think, okay, just open my phone, search any football trials, and there's enough info about it. Right? So therefore, if you want to, everything is available, at your fingertips. Before earning money in ISL, they should focus on earning the audience. Raj, I don't think any of those two. I think they should earn the right to be part of professional football. Earning the audience comes automatically when you play good football. Do you think if Baichung had become president, would have there been something different? Baichung will not like it when May saying it. I don't think there will be much of a difference. This is a leadership problem. Again, I need professionals to run it. Where are the professionals to run Indian football? Where are they? Right? Sports pros who will take tough decisions. Constantine's last couple of games were quite good. If it felt like everything was coming together with what we have done, in my opinion. Yeah, Rishabh, very right. Stephen looked like at the Asian Cup, this team is coming of age. And therefore, even after he left, if I look at the game against Oman and Guwahati, I happened to be there. Great game. Sadly, we ran out of steam after 70 minutes and we lost. And then the game in Qatar, which we drew 0-0, they look good. And I think Eagles team much initial success came because of Stephen. Looking back in time, I would say that now. We lost 24 crore by OCC. If you are a player, it doesn't mean you have knowledge how to run sports. Yeah, they are known. Do you think East Bengal FC is financially stable? No. It's dependent on the problem is uh, um, East Bengal, Mohun Bagan, and Mohammedan depend on the financial inputs of an investor, right? As big as all three clubs are, and in their own individual rights, are massive, massive fan supported clubs. If financial investors don't come forward, none of them could survive or would survive. When will I-League start, Pranjal? Supposedly on the 19th. Let's see if the AIFF announce something tomorrow or day after. Did a video about it separately. If you haven't seen it, have a look. Where I raised that question, status and latest. Again, there have been talks about broadcast and other things, but at the moment, it looks like that the I-League will most likely start very, very soon. Today, Diamond Harbour became the champions of I-League 3 2024. Their first trophy. Still, I cannot see them as a proper football club. A lot of things are missing in their act. Palash, there's a lot of these sort of, artificial creations. And therefore, let's wait and see. If they can do something different, I don't know. But it makes difficult. Sorry, just a quick sip. Why can't we do something like merging the ISL and I-League? That will give us a long league that happens around the year. Difficult to implement, guess, but something drastic needs to happen. Shudeep, I don't think that's the solution. I think that would be going backwards, in my opinion, if you ask me, because I think and I feel we need to look at what works best in an Indian context. And in my opinion, I think even a smaller league would be better. I think a 10-team competitive league in the might be better than, and you play each other thrice, might be better than what we have at the moment. And therefore, for me, there are a lot of teams in the I-League who are just about surviving. Last season, for example, Neroka and Trau, the question needed to be asked, sorry guys, you're not there. We have to exclude you. I know that there's political pressure from the Manipur government and this and that, but again, that should have happened. And on the other side, we have to be realistic. Merging the leagues will create more problems. Yes, Palash, exactly. Because that's not the answer. Again, the roadmap showed you where to go, but again, who bothered about it in the last years? I hated how Steamach played with the AIFF, showcasing his research when he was appointed. Then he went to claim that India never played AFC Championship at youth level. It feels like he scammed the AIFF. Yeah. Well, Palash, they don't even play at Diamond Harbour Stadium when the stadium is very good and suitable for I-League with little renovations. Akash, that stadium is that, sorry to ask, do you know if that stadium is used for the CFL? Just a question. I don't know that. That's what I'm asking. Was Mohun Bagan's inclusion a merger? Recently, Mohun Sporting people were indirectly mocking Mohun Bagan. Yeah, it is a merger, right? So therefore, for me, Mohun Bagan is merged into Atletico de Kolkata. Now, Mohammedan, and the problem is, I don't know where the issue is to mock people because of that, right? East Bengal also has a corporate partner. Mohammedan also has a corporate partner, without which they own the majority of the club, right? The three clubs have gone about it in different ways. That's the only difference. If the corporate partner pulls out, all three have the same problem. Who's going to come in and put in the money? And the amount of money which is needed. These are realities of Indian football these days. Bachumbutia was also in the AIFF management. Everyone saw his profit. Said reality, we only say about good things, but when we are in the place of the same person, we mess up things like they do. Yeah, the unknown. That's Why dedicated football stadiums not built? Raj, it's being built by the governments, right? And the clubs, whatever they're or academies, whatever they're generating, they're putting back into their teams. So that's another problem that we face, right? It's there isn't that much of money in the system as you know that we need. What happened to that which could convert into football stadium, Gujarat, the state level football played there? Yeah, you mean uh the stadium in Ahmedabad, Trans Stadia. No, Diamond Harbour play all their matches at either Kalyani or Noihati, okay, which is really on the other side of the city, right? Indians love winners. If we want to get more eyeballs in ISL, my bet will be on the foreigners. More top quality foreigners, no limit. Yeah, but we want more eyeballs for the ISL. But if you have more eyeballs for the ISL, how does that help Indian football? The Mumbai football arena need renovation and should increase the capacity. Where does it need renovation? I think it's up to the mark, if you ask me. I think increased capacity is a conversation that you could have with the authorities in Mumbai, but yeah, I don't think that's the problem. Palash, unlimited foreigners will bankrupt the clubs. Yeah, we'll bring them closer to that, or we'll bankrupt them, Akash. I think, yeah. Why are the Bagan fans so sensitive about the word merger? Is it because ATK was already a successful club and the merger merely ensured that ATK Mohun Bagan was actually ATK playing in Mohun Bagan shirts? Yeah. I think that's the point, right? It is I mean, the reality is, if people like it or not, Mohun Bagan merged into Atletico de Kolkata, or ATK as they were called at the time. While Mohun Bagan brought their brand in, ATK brought the ISL license and the money in, and that then became the merged entity, which has now been turned into Mohun Bagan Supergiant. And as there are apartments inside the stadium complex, it's difficult to make one more tier. I think it's impossible. And the question is, of course, on one side, can you really, close the stadium? I think that's one thing that I think was being discussed to make it really a 10,000 capacity stadium, but that's not been fulfilled so far. Right, 1 hour 22 minutes. Wow, it's 11 o'clock at night. No, the Diamond Harbour SDO's ground hasn't been used in the CFL. Diamond Harbour FC uses all the extended park ground to practice and play. Yeah, that's then the question, of course, needs to be asked to the owners and to the people involved in the club is, why don't you, with Diamond Harbour and its locality, why don't you try and play there and build up that venue, that stadium, right? So therefore that would be my question. Can we have temporary retractable stands on top of the athletic tracks, and why we care to get the supporters close to the sidelines? Question applies to all such stadiums. No, you can't. Should they on top of the athletic track? You can't, because you would destroy the stadium, right? Sorry, you would destroy the running track. So that is not possible. I don't care about merger ownership. From 2017, for some reason, ATK lost its fan base and the stadium were empty. Mohun solve that problem. It's win-win for both the sides. Yeah. Good night. I have college in the morning. Great conversation with you. Thank you, the unknown. I'll slowly also come towards the end. Yeah, as always, like and share and subscribe. As I like to say, if you haven't, to have a look at things, and yeah, that's something that was changed. Man City Stadium had a field track, if I'm not wrong. They just stuck the track and created the lower tier. Ideally, it could be done to a lot of stadiums, at least in footballing states. Rishabh, it will not happen, but the Man City Stadium, or look at the stadium of West Ham. In West Ham, you still have the running tracks in there. The Commonwealth Games happen in Manchester. That stadium was built for it. And once the Commonwealth Games were done, Manchester City took over the stadium. You can do that. In India, none of the stadiums are per se with the clubs. So therefore, you have no access. BFC fights with the Athletic Association in Karnataka over access to the stadium. And again, the state is literally letting the stadium fall apart. So these are all realities of what's happening in India. Howrah Sherlin Manna Stadium will be amazing if it gets renovation. Yeah, but it can't, no? Because you have to actually build it up properly, which is not. Why Mumbai City got a registration ban from AIFF? Palash, I don't know. I've also read it. I will try and find out tomorrow. I've not heard anything on that so far. Heard that Metro Railway will renovate Sholin Manna Stadium. Okay. Because I think those stands are utterly useless. Actually, knock down the whole bloody thing and rebuild it. That would be the best thing for that Howrah Maidan, so to say, as it used to be called in the past. Right. Kishore Bharti, Kirangan, Howrah, Sholin Manna, Kalyan, and Rabindra Shobha Stadium should be developed as per FIFA standard. IFA is sleeping. Akash, it's not up to the IFA. It's not all these stadiums are either owned by the municipalities or by the state government. So therefore, it's not on the IFA. The infrastructure blame is not on the IFA. And also, listen, the blame on infrastructure in Bengal being bad in football, in regard to stadiums, is on the three big clubs of Kolkata. Why have East Bengal, Mohun Bagan, Mohammedan not built their own complex with a stadium and training facilities and other things? Playing in the Maidan, right? So therefore, these are all realities. It's sometimes, putting the blame in the wrong place doesn't work, in my opinion, right? And Kolani can't be a FIFA standard stadium. Howrah doesn't have it. Kishore Bharti Kiranga now could be, yes, built into one. Rabindra Shobha as well. But what's the use of having FIFA standard stadiums? Where would you play, right? Right. I'll come to the end now of this late night conversation. East Bengal Mohammedan will never leave Maidan. That's the part of the problem, right? As always, as I said, like, share, and subscribe. Arunfoot here on YouTube. If you're watching this later on, if you haven't, do leave a subscribe. Also, look at the videos that I create. Of course, I did one on regard to the status of the I-League yesterday or today morning still. In Germany, it's just after 11 o'clock. And all the other videos. And do let people know. And I will see you tonight with another live, 9:45 as usual. And then let's talk about Indian football. Good night, everyone.